Yo, what's happening, my people? So, been looking forward to this. Been had to do this, man. And the movie finally came out today. So this is Judas and the Black Messiah. So this is the story of the Black Panthers about the assassination of Fred Hampton, about the behind-the-scenes story about what happened, and how the FBI and stuff conspired against this brother. And this is a very good movie. It's very interesting. It will have you emotional. Especially since a lot of black cinema is in a good place. It's in a very good place, man. They had stuff like American Skin, Queen and Slim, Lovecraft Country, and stuff like that. Like a lot of things that came out in recent times and stuff, and they pushing the envelope. And this right here is up there with the best of them. They did their thing. So this is starring Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield. So you know Daniel Kaluuya from things like Black Panther, Get Out, Queen and Slim. Lakeith Stanfield from ATL, or The Photograph. Both these brothers, they should have Academy Awards in their future. And it should be the near future. One thing would kind of be poetic justice or poetic injustice or something. Just think if Lakeith Stanfield would get the award for Best Supporting Actor or something, and Daniel Kaluuya would get overlooked. It would be a disservice, and it would just be another example of getting rewarded for treasonous act or whatever. Like this dude, he was a fuck nigga back in the days. This dude, William something, they called him Wild Bill in the movie and stuff. So he was just like a stick-up kid, fuck nigga. He got caught up, and the FBI wanted him to flip. They're like, we need somebody close to Fred Hampton. You're going to get some years. Unless you do this, you could be a free man. So he went and got into the organization and stuff, rubbed shoulders with him. It seemed like he had good intentions. He did some good in the party, but he did a lot of bad as well. Too much bad. But I don't want to tell the whole story. It's a true story, so it's not like you could spoil it if you know about it. But if you don't know the story of what happened to Fred Hampton, like, I don't want to give everything away. But this movie, like, as far as cinematically and stuff, it reminds me of like a mix of like Menace to Society and Malcolm X. Like, that is what it does, just aesthetically and stuff. Like, just the times that they were in reminds me of like Menace to Society, and like the young brothers getting together. It's kind of like when Lorenz Tate was devising his plan to go rob or whatever, but they're together and got unity in devising their plans, but for positivity. They bringing a lot of people together. And it is a clear indication of like white American and stuff. Like, they think everything is about them and put everything in their shoes or whatever, without looking at the other perspective. In the way I say this, like, not to down white people or anything, but like, people think, a lot of people, I've had white friends and stuff, and they had times and they've heard of the Black Panthers, and they told me, yeah, the Black Panthers, they're like the KKK. No, it's not the same thing. But white people think that. And so that's how they thought back in the days. Like, oh, so they have the Black Panthers and they're organizing. So evidently they must be like the KKK, and they're going to hang us and do this, and they're going to want retribution and whatever. What he was doing was trying to lead a revolution for poor, disenfranchised people. And it wasn't just black people. Like, he went to the white neighborhoods, the white trash, trailer trash people. He went to the Mexicans, etc. He was setting up the Rainbow Coalition. All kind of things that they were doing, positive things for poor, disenfranchised people who had a boot on their throat. So, Black Panthers are not the same as Ku Klux Klan. Ku Klux Klan want to suppress people, and it's about racism and hate and all that. Black Panthers was not built on those means. And then a lot of the violence that happened in those times, and you looking at it in the movie, and it's not me being like, oh, it's just a perspective of the movie, and they're painting it this way. It's just like being a black man in society and just looking. Like, they push them people a lot of the times. Like, people get tired. You can kick somebody so many times until they like, your ass ain't gonna kick me no more. Like, I'm sick of this shit. So that's pretty much what happened. Like, whenever they retaliated, it was like, man, our backs against the wall, man. Y'all rushing us. Y'all got guns to our head. Y'all are throwing Molotov cocktails or something. Like, we sick of this shit. So they did fight back at times. But it also was about, Wild Bill and Fred Hampton. And what drove them as individuals. Like, Fred Hampton, like, he should be up there with Martin Luther King, Malcolm X and stuff. Like, people don't know the story of him that much. Like me, I've heard of him, but I didn't know the story until watching this. And like watching this, like, he was a good dude. Like how they had Mr. Rogers and they made the movie of him. Like, he was like the black Mr. Rogers, but like with a backbone and like striving for something, like in a militant kind of way. But like, as far as Mr. Rogers, like how he was all for the people and just didn't think about himself. He was very selfless. Like, this dude was like that. Like, he was that good of a dude, it seemed. In Wild Bill, in the FBI and stuff, it was like self-preservation, hate, fear, oppression versus revolution. Like, they seen poor people, black people, building themselves up, and they like, this is the biggest threat to our way of life as Americans. Like, this is worse than China or Cuba or Russia or something retaliating or dropping bombs or something. If these black people pull themselves up, this would be terrible. That is how it was looked upon. And you know what? Times ain't changed that much. Times have not changed that much. You look at shit. You look at the times we were in. They had the election and stuff. We had our first black president a few years ago. And then Trump came right after. Like, and you see all the negativity came from having a black president. Because it was fear of losing their a way of life. And then we have the first female black vice president. Yeah, I know some people don't like her. Even black people be like, man, she ain't black and she ain't do this. She was a prosecutor and this and that. But anyways, look, to my point. They have this first female black vice president. Then they have Biden. He's kind of leaning towards this way of life. And with the Obama administration, their ways and stuff, kind of like lenient or more of togetherness or something. Like he did some fuck shit too. He ain't no saint. He's not no saint. We're not gonna etch his face in stone or something and hang his picture on our walls and is a black people. No. But he's a threat to their way of life. And I don't mean it like whites against blacks or something, but just a certain demographic. Why do you think they stormed the Capitol? Because they feel they're taking our country. Just like back in the days when the Black Panthers were trying to lift themselves up, lift other people up, poor people. Oh no, we can't let that happen. We got to kill this brother. They planned, the government planned to assassinate this brother. Pulled it off. Like, that's not spoiling it too much because the story is there. Like, but it is very interesting. It is very good. I hope Daniel Kaluuya wins an award. I wouldn't mind Lakeith Stanfield. Lakeith Stanfield did a hell of a job, and he's not to be labeled no bitch ass nigga, no snitch, or no Benedict Arnold or anything like that. But I would just hate for Daniel Kaluuya not to win something, and he would win something for this particular role. Like, if they both would win something, I'd be happy. But if he wins something, it would kind of be like the establishment saying, let's give him one again. Like how they did back in the days. And he was rewarded for turning his back in trespassing or just stabbing him in the back. He was rewarded for that. And eventually he ended up taking his life. He ended up committing suicide. His guilt killed him. And I was about to say some mean shit right now, but that was a person, and he has family and stuff and descendants or whatever. So I'm not gonna say what I wanted to say, but you could imagine. But this is a very good movie, man. I would definitely tell y'all to check this one out. Like me, I get this. If you're pulling it off in a great manner, the acting is great. It has a great story, cinematography, everything. It invokes some emotion in me. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. This is a 10 out of 10. And what did I give? I gave something to 10 out of 10 recently and stuff. Probably one of these black movies. I think American Skin. I say it probably was like a 10 out of 10 because it invoked an emotion in me. It made me feel a certain kind of way. This made me feel a certain kind of way. The acting was incredible. Like what these black producers, directors, whatever actors are doing in Hollywood right now, I salute them, and y'all keep them coming. Hey, watch this. Not just black people, white people. You watch this as well and stuff, and it is not shitting on white people or at all or anything. It's just showing the hate for community in being together, in rising up against something. It shows the hate for that, the fear of that happening, the fear of unification. But that's my thoughts, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't be the greatest and the most hated. I'll let you boy. Peace.